So there is this word that's getting tossed around right now, which is a very scary word, but
oh, I feel like I want to guess. What does it start with?
An S. And it ends with stability.
Oh, it's a, okay.
So
Won't judge your
the
word.
word is stability, and there's some people who have been talking now that the price of oil may have stabilized. Now, I am not quite ready to say that yet with some of the stuff that is still coming out of the U.S., some of the political policy.
I also feel like it would be nice to actually see it stable for 3 weeks before we say that it's stabilized.
Hence my comments. So some people out there might be saying stability, but this can go up or down. But I don't think we're going to see quite the huge ranges anymore that we have been seeing. So in terms of that level of stability, I think we're going to start to see this. There is still a little bit of political uncertainty, obviously with the immigration policies in the U.S. and such. I mean, I don't expect that to affect our real estate market per se, but it's definitely top of the news. A little bit of unrest, obviously Quebec and the mosque shootings are with Quebec City today with that as they go through that ordeal. And I think that we are going to see things really sort of stay flat, and that speaks to, not flat, but maybe moderate increase on the single family homes. And it actually speaks to Anne-Marie Lurie's forecast at the forecast. This is what we're starting to see a little bit here.
It'll also be interesting though, because the price of oil in general will affect Alberta, but there's also a lot of projects that we have here that won't necessarily affect the price of oil, but will dramatically affect our economy, whether or not the price of oil does continue to go up.
Well, and that's where even as projects now, it's at the level that we're at now, they can begin investing again.
Yeah, so. and there has been a lot of positivity about Keystone being approved, which we wouldn't have spoken about at our last meeting. But we also don't really know what that's going to shape out at, because by the time that's taxed, and the new tax system is going to be different, and by the time all the procedures are put on that, which are all going to be different than was initially laid out, who knows if they'll still even want to build it? Like, well, I'm sure that they will, but we don't know what that's going to. We just don't know what that's going to look like yet.
Yeah, exactly. So okay, so let's take a look at the hard numbers. Let's take a look at the data. Price of oil pretty flat week over week here, 53.11. That's down 11 cents from 53.22 from the week previous. The Canadian dollar up ever so slightly, 76.06 cents US. That's up from 75.51 cents.
Number of listings increasingly will be increasing. Metro Calgary 4,339 versus 4,191. Red Deer 470 versus 463.
At the end of this month, we expect to see the transaction data coming in for how we did in January here, and it's going to be a telling sign. So that's obviously going to be here on Wednesday, some of that data. So as far as months of inventory go, we're still sitting in a bit of a buyer's market at 5.25 months of inventory overall. Single-family homes now trickled back down into a balanced marketplace. That has moved from a buyer's market down to a balanced market, which gives positive signs that sales are starting to pick up again. And condos, albeit still heavily in a buyer's market there, have made moves in a positive direction, sitting at 8.10 months of inventory.
Looking at our surrounding areas in terms of months of inventory, Okotoks has gone down to 7.52. Lots of down arrows on the screen. Airdrie 7.87, Cochrane 10.67, Strathmore 21, Sundre 28.5, Red Deer 8.25, and the benchmark price is currently sitting at $435,400.
Awesome. So again, watch it, and I always say keep an eye on the stats daily, or glance at them daily, review them weekly, and dig in monthly. And that's kind of the time that you should be looking at the stats. So get out there and start selling homes. It looks like the market's coming back, and buyers and sellers are starting to get out there.
Great.
Cool.